So now we're going to look at the first of four German cases. There are four cases in German: nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. Now we're going to look at nominative case. So the first thing you need to note is the nominative case, in essence, is the subject of the sentence. So who or what does the action of the verb? As with all sentences, you need a subject and a verb. So every sentence in German will have a nominative case. Now, when you talk about command forms or imperative statements, just as in English, we have that understood you, and that exists in German as well. But pretty much, yeah, you always have a subject in a sentence. Now, the other thing that the nominative case can be is, in addition to being the subject, it can also be the predicate nominative. This is seen when we use linking verbs. I'm going to go into more detail in a minute. Right now, the most prevalent linking verb you probably know is sein, or to be. The other thing we want to make sure that we remember is that every time we learn a noun, we learn its nominative case article. So when you learn a noun, you already know, is it männlich, weiblich, or sächlich? So you'll know those already. Zum Beispiel der Vater, die Mutter, das Buch. You know it. So we've already kind of dealt with part of this nominative case. We know the article the. We can say the man. What did I say? The father, der Vater, die Mutter, the mother, and das Buch, the book. So we've already learned the in the nominative case. Now, with plurals, we're not going to go into too much detail with plurals right now. That's for another time. But plurals, you need to note, are always D. That doesn't mean they're feminine. It just means that they have the article D for the. So das Buch is not feminine. Das Buch is sächlich. Sächlich, it's neuter. So one book, das Buch. If you have lots of books, plural, this is die Bücher. So we're not going to learn about all the crazy fun that plurals are right now. I just wanted to mention that it has an article for the, and it happens to be D. All right? So we'll worry about the other stuff later. So this is a chart that you're going to become very familiar with in German. We're going to see it multiple times, and you'll notice that it's labeled M for masculine, F for feminine, N for neuter, and P for plural. And if you recall, I mentioned that there are four cases in German: nominative, accusative, dative, and genitive. Right now, we're only worried about this case, okay? This case, the chart, aka the definite article chart, is der, I'm going to try to color code this here, der, die, das, and since this has no gender, it's just plural die. So der, die, das, die. Repeat. Der, die, das, die. Der, die, das, die. So the in English. Not a very exciting chart, but that's what we have so far. So when we look at something as the subject of a sentence, we know that we have to have the nominative case. So if I say the girl knows Heidi, the first thing I ask myself is, what is the verb? Knows. Who or what knows? The girl is the subject. So in German, the girl is the nominative case. And if you recall what the gender of girl is, when you learned it, you should write Das Mädchen kennt Heidi. Same thing. What's the, oh, sorry. The verb is kennt. Who or what knows? The girl. Nominative case. If we look at this sentence, we have the mother is called Linda. In German, we have a specific verb for is called. Who or what is called? The mother. So that will be the nominative case. So the mother, die Mutter, heißt Linda. The mother is called Linda. Now, the other thing that the nominative case can be, besides being the subject, is the predicate nominative. Now, the predicate nominative is a bit tricky, and it's used with linking verbs. Predicate nominative is when the nominative, the noun, there's a noun in the predicate part of the sentence, meaning from the verb to the end of the sentence, renames the subject of the sentence. So a sentence that has a predicate nominative still has a subject. So what happens is it has two nominative case elements. Linking verb, the easiest thing for me to remember is I think about like a link. So a link in a chain. All right? It means whatever's on this side of the chain, if I flip it around, the chain itself, the links can be flipped upside down or backwards, and it still means the same thing. So I can say Heidi is the girl, but I can just as easily say, if I flip it around, the girl is Heidi. So the girl here is the subject of the sentence with a linking verb to be. Okay. If I flip it back the other way, the girl is the predicate nominative of the sentence. Heidi's the subject, predicate nominative. Flip it back around. Now, das Mädchen is the subject, and Heidi is the predicate nominative. If you have adjectives, then the predicate adjectives, and that's a story for another day. Now, putting these into practice. Luke, I am your father. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I am, ich bin, the father, der Vater. Luke, ich bin der Vater. I'm not using your father because that's another story for another day. But I am the father. The father, even though it's not the subject of the sentence, it is the predicate nominative. It does rename or describe who I am. I am the father am I. That's why when you answer the phone in English, you don't, if someone says, hi, is Heidi there? You don't say, this is her. You say, this is she, because she is nominative case in English. Another example, we are the parents. So utilizing our linking verb, wir sind die Eltern. And this one's a little tricky because parents is plural. So no gender, but plural. We are the parents are we. Makes me think of we are the world, we are the children. So we could say we are the children are we. And you can flip it around and it still makes sense. So what I want you to do is to tackle these 4 sentences. I know the girl and the boy. Hans is the brother. He is my friend, and the man is sick. I would like for you to underline the verb twice and write V above it. Underline the subject once and write S above it. And then write the sentence in German. So write it out in English, underline subjects and verbs. Then write them out in German. And I want you to circle anything in that German sentence that takes the nominative case, be it the subject or the predicate nominative. So those are all the things you have to do for your assignment. Viel Glück, viel Spaß.